And welcome to episode 6?
I think it's six.
I think it's 6 as well. 6 of the Back2Warcraft podcast. I am Badu. Joined with me, of course, is Giannis. Neo, back again. It is April 29th, 2021, a day after Carson's birthday, 2-3 days before mine. Neo, how are you?
I'm horrible. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you've been a gloomy little bitch before we started this podcast. I don't know what's going on with you, but
total lie, man. I'm in the best mood possible. I'm spending my time with you. How could I be in a gloomy mood? I'm not a gloomy boy.
I think the problem is, for those of you guys that don't know, if you're not involved with the Patreon, we did do the in-house Patreon thing last night. It was amazing. We had 8 people. It was totally fun. We played some Uther Party. We played some. I don't know what the game's called, but you hear a game sound, like a sorcerer sound. You have to guess what unit it makes the sound. It was super fun. The Weakest Link. Yes, that's right. We played some Weakest Link. I fucking suck at that game, as you can imagine. And then we played some 4v4, and I beat Remo's ass. And Remo is yet to beat me in a team match.
Damn, that's pretty impressive, man. That's pretty impressive.
But the point that I was trying to say is you were not there. You took a day off. And I think you get bummed out when you take a day off. I think you're incapable of recreation. And that is why I think you're being all moody, because you just want to work all the time, every day.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Not casting for 1.5 days is very stressful to me. I feel like I have to provide stuff for our beloved community, and then when I'm supposed to be getting better, I'm just getting worse. So hey, this is my recreational time. This is my podcast. I'm actually producing content again, so feeling better as we speak, Ricky. It just. Like, for me right now, this is my drink of choice for this podcast is a coffee, because for the first time we record at around noon. It's like 1:30 p.m. in my time, which means that it's very, very early morning for you.
Yeah, 7:30 in the morning for me. I just finished a 12-hour shift at the steel shop and didn't shower. And this is what I look like after. I'm looking. If you think I'm looking good, let me know. If you think I'm looking like shit, let me know. But I actually feel more aware and awake right now, as opposed to if I would have slept like 6-7 hours and then we would have done it later on today. So,
oh yeah, I saw your face after getting up like immediately. You need, I don't know, 2 liters of coffee or something to start into the day. At least it feels and looks that way. So I totally get that, man. I don't function for the first 4 hours of the day, I think. Need a coffee, need a shower, need maybe a walk, and then after 2, 3, 4 hours, things are getting better and more productive. And that's the fucking thing at school, man, and work, I think, in general. Some people just can't get up and live the early morning hours, and some people just can't. It's like genetic, I think, and we're still being forced to get up early sometimes and work early and function early. I think that's a flaw in society.
Gotta love capitalism. I think, I've always been like that too. I'm aware that if I wake up right away and do something, I am not fully there yet. Yet I always schedule my wake ups like 15 to 10 minutes before the thing I'm supposed to do. Like if I have a thing at 3 p.m., I will wake up at 2:45. If I have a thing at like 8 at night, like Dust League or whatever, I will like ESL Cup at 8. I literally wake up at like 6:30, like 7:30 at night. I don't know what it is.
That does sound a little counterproductive, man.
It just like, I don't know what it is. I don't do the early wake up. Like you probably wake up like 3 hours before you're supposed to go live or supposed to do something. That way you're aware and awake and you've had your coffee and you've had, made love to a beautiful woman or man. Whatever have you. But I think I don't do that. I just kind of like get up and I go. I get out of bed, I put on clothes, and
sometimes
I go.
We've had rehearsals without clothes, though.
Yes, we have had a Be-Do Naked rehearsal. The Spank Bank collection is out on the Patreon. You can get it. No, I'm just kidding. But that was a wild day. But yeah, I think that's so weird that like you could be aware of your issues. Like obviously I should just sleep more efficiently. I shouldn't stay up so late if I have something going on, and I should try to realize that I need an hour or two, but I don't.
But it's also really hard to fall asleep when you're supposed to fall asleep, right? Like after work or something, you just can't get home and undress and lay down and sleep. That's just impossible. I think some people can do that. They're blessed. Be aware, people, that you're blessed if it works like that for you. But after a broadcast, I need like 3 to 4 hours to calm down.
Yeah, I don't go to sleep either, unless I like if I like come back.
Never.
If I come back from work, like if we weren't doing the podcast, I would toss and turn for like 20 minutes, but then I would go to sleep. But that's after like a 12-hour shift. But for the most part, yeah. The thing is, though, if I don't have anything going the next day, I sleep like a baby. If I have something going the next day, I don't know if it's anxiety or what it is, but I don't sleep well. In fact, like I will procrastinate my sleep and kind of fuck myself over for that event when I should have just went to bed. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, if I have nothing, funny. I'll go to sleep at like 9 p.m.
Funny, man. Like for me, it's the other way around. Like, if I know I have to get up for like an NEXT event that's usually very early, or some Dreamhacks were very early, I just go to bed and I have to sleep now to get my 5 to 6 hours, and then it's working. And I get up, I hear the alarm. Okay, baby, let's go. Need a coffee, need a shower, and then I'm ready. But if I have nothing to do, man, I don't fall asleep at all, like 5 a.m. or something. And when I wake up, I feel so tired and so worn out, and just stay in bed all day.
Your schedule's really weird, man. Because I know, like, you don't like really staying. Weird. You don't like staying up late. So like 11:30, 12, you're like done for the day, but you're still awake sometimes. Like me and Carson will be chilling, and it'll be like 1 a.m. Hold on, let's be more realistic. It'll be like 10 at night for us, which is like 4 a.m. for you, and you're like tweeting something or you're like responding to something. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing up? Like, what are you doing? And like sometimes you'll go to sleep at like up. Sometimes you'll go to sleep at like midnight, but sometimes you'll go to sleep at like 7 a.m. I'm like,
yeah, that's when I'm drinking. Like I like to stay up late if I'm alone. I'm just tired of people.
You need a little drinky poo? What do you mean you're tired? You want to talk about it?
No. Like what? Like, don't you have that you're tired of people and just want to be alone, enjoying yourself a little?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah, I see that, unfortunately.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, of course. You do need like a break, you know, like how, like recently, man, I've been like, I need to get off my computer, like that kind of vibe. Like I need to get up and take a break. Do you ever have that? And even if it means sitting on a couch and watching a TV, I just need to like decompress from the computer.
Yeah, but then there's like 3 roommates here, which is also people. And I can't really get away from them, so I wait until they go to bed, which is usually after midnight, and then I'm kind of free. Know what I mean?
Oh, so like because you're in your room all the time casting, do like when you come out, are you like Bigfoot? Like they want to talk to you because they haven't seen you in like days?
Yeah, it's really annoying because after a show you already talk for like 6 hours, right? Especially after the solo cast, you talk like all the time for 6 hours, and then all they do is like, they want to talk, and I really don't want to talk. Like, I want to do anything but talking at that point. So
do they know what you do?
Yeah,
do they think you're like a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Like what do they like? They know what you do, like literally, like they know what Twitch is.
Yeah. I've been with them to like Dota events and stuff.
Okay, cool. Do they think you're like famous?
After the Dota event, I think so, because so many people wanted to take pictures and stuff. That was cool.
That's badass, man. I don't think anyone's gonna ever stop me for a picture.
Depends on what events you go to. I mean, it happened to me at like concerts as well. So
what? You would go to like a random artist concert and some guy would be like, "You're Giannis?"
Yeah.
And I watch Warcraft and I know who you are?
Yeah.
At like a Slipknot concert?
I don't go to Slipknot concerts, but yeah, did happen.
That's cool, man. You are famous then.
Yeah, but
you're fucking famous.
They always ask for a picture, but they never give me beer for free. I think that's what you should do, guys. The ethique for getting a picture with me is give me a beer afterwards, or prior to that.
You know what? Maybe that's them being respectful because they feel like if I offer Giannis a beer, maybe he feels he has to talk to me.
It's usually
so
super cool though. I do talk to them even without beer. Like this is just me being a dick at the moment, but people are usually super cool, super genuine. Of course, the topics are oftentimes the same because oh, I watched Warcraft because of you again, yada yada yada, which is super nice, but it's also a little repetitive. But it's a cool feeling. Of course, thanks to COVID, I haven't had that in a year, but apart from that, it's cool.
Okay, so very approachable. If you see Neo,
of course,
offer him a beer, and you can actually hang out and talk with him.
Exactly.
You don't just gotta
cheap.
cough up the beer. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no standards, man. I don't care what kind of beer, or whatever it is. Just approach me.
Obviously not. What's it called? Bitburger.
Bitburger's the best, of course. Obviously.
Oh, you're such a sellout, dude. That beer is dog shit. Bro.
It's not.
Bitburger?
It's not bad. It's not.
Is it a lager?
Absolute
That's a
favorite.
lager, right?
It's a Pils.
Oh, it's a Pils. Yeah. No. There's just way better. I'd rather drink like Canadian, like Molson Canadian, which is like Panther piss, than drink Bitburger.
I bet my ass you never had a Bitburger in your life.
No, I have. I tried
shit up now.
Nope, I tried Dab, which is another German beer. I love Dab.
It's from Dortmund. That's pretty good.
And then I love Dab. And then I tried Bitburger, and then I tried another one, which I can't remember. But I did try a bunch of German beers. I was not a fan of Bitburger.
But the international version is oftentimes a little different from the national version.
True.
For example, the Becks they ship to the States is way different from local Becks.
Oh, really? Yes,
yep.
Beck. I've tried Beck as well. So I didn't mind that one.
Yeah, nobody does. It's like so neutral. It's like, oh, this is... You can drink it. It's not bad, but nobody will ever rave about it.
So we have like a plant in Toronto called Steam Whistle. And that's... it tastes so different when you go to the actual place than if you go to the beer store. And then I've known people that go to like Ireland and they went to the Guinness and they said you cannot drink Guinness outside of Ireland once you go to Ireland. Yeah, they said like if you like Guinness and you try it in Ireland, you fucked yourself if you leave Ireland because it's dog shit.
Well, then just don't leave Ireland.
Yeah, I know. I want to go to Ireland so bad. You been there?
No, unfortunately not. I planned twice and stuff came up, like a pandemic, for example. But yeah, I really want to go to Ireland as well. I only heard great things about it. Are you into redheads?
Yes.
Oh boy, that's a dream country for you. There's a festival only for redheads. Do you know that?
I love the hybrids. I love the hybrids.
Dude,
I love them.
It's so funny. Someone was sending me this. And it's really, only redhead people are allowed to that festival. It looks great, though.
Do you think I'm a redhead? Do you think I could get in?
No, I don't think so.
Fuck.
Sorry about it.
I just dyed my hair that day.
Maybe you can just lurk at the entry or something. like the creep you are.
Why is that a thing you think I'm gonna do? How about I just don't go, Giannis? I'm not gonna wait out there like a weirdo.
Well, if there's an opportunity, you might just seize it. I don't know, man. You're acting in weird ways sometimes.
True. But I do fancy a redhead. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. They're beautiful people.
You're gonna compete with Remo on that. Have fun. Good luck.
Yeah, he has a very exquisite taste. Because he's very picky.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah, we've discussed what our interests are. And I think he's very picky. Yeah, I'm also very picky, but I think that's because I'm young, ish. And I think like once I hit that dirty 30, my standards will go way down. But yeah, I'm very. Are you picky?
Not at all. I have no standards at all.
My buddy at work says that 2 or 5 2s equal a 10. Do you live by that standard?
Wow. I don't look. Not really. I don't have, as I said, I don't have any standards. So whatever happens, and
I have pretty high standards. I've also been told that I'm like a good 4. What do you think? What would you rate me on 1 to 10? Minus the redness. If you could just
4.
Yeah, a solid 4.
That's flattering. Yeah, 4 is, I guess, fine. I haven't seen you in a while.
Wait, you agree? You're supposed to be like, no, bro, you're like a 9.
I can't lie, man. It's in the Bible.
It is in the Bible.
It is in the Bible.
We should go to Ireland one day. We'll go to Ireland one day, me and you. I've always said that we should do a Back to Warcraft vacation.
Yeah, dude. First thing after we can travel again is me visiting you and the 2 of us visiting Carson. That's the plan.
Let's do it. You're coming to Niagara. I'll show you the falls. You get to see a wonder of the world. We have a good time, and then we'll go to BC. Yeah. And we'll club some kangaroos with Carson. All right. There's no kangaroos in BC.
Well, maybe that's a zoo.
Yeah, there's geese. Lots of geese. You like geese?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Beavers.
Amazing.
Moose.
Oh, but I love me some moose.
You ever seen a moose?
Yeah, in the zoo. Oh, actually, maybe in real life as well.
Why would you see a moose in the zoo? Are moose in the zoo?
Of course.
What?
Yes, of course. It's not common here, so they put them in the zoo.
Oh, they're not in Canadian zoos because I guess they're so common.
Yeah, it's like we don't put cows in our zoos.
Do you have well, we don't have cows either. Do you have deer in your zoo then?
Yeah.
Wow. Different cultures.
Different cultures. Man, zoos are kind of weird though. I don't like them too much. Caging animals.
I never had any interest in them, and then I took my ex-girlfriend to one in Toronto, and there was pandas, and I love pandas, and they were eating the bamboo. I thought they were people dressed up in the Star Wars those koala things, the Ewoks. Yeah, I was like, that's an Ewok. That's not a real panda, but they're real pandas, and it was eating bamboo, and I was like, this is the coolest part of my life.
Yeah,
and then
some zoos are cool, some are cruel. But...
And then she broke up with me.
Oh, because is she now with the panda?
Yeah, she's with the panda now. Yeah, they're exclusive. Yeah. So don't take your girlfriend to the zoo. The pandas will take your girl. No. That's true.
Losing the battle to a panda who just sleeps 20 hours a day and eats bamboo lice.
Yeah, it was just chilling, man. It was mucking a whole tree branch. It just mucked the whole thing. It was a hungry boy.
Sweet, just like you.
When was the last time we've ever just shot the shit like this? We don't shoot the shit like this often.
Yeah, never. I guess when there's a tournament, there's a break, but that didn't happen recently.
No, although we do have a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, we got talking points.
Yeah, we do have talking points. I think we should start with that really good question because it kind of ties into me saying there's a fuckload of tournaments going on.
I want to start with Dreamhack because there's a little follow-up.
Okay, let's do that. So we ended off with the closed qualifiers were just about to begin, and the invites were kind of wonky, but we do have our closed qualifier concluded.
Yeah, as we said, the seedings were kind of off for open qualifiers and closed qualifiers. We still got amazing people in the regular season, of course, 16 for Asia and Europe, 8 in America. And again, we do have a little issue, or I at least have a little issue with the seedings for this because, so in my mind, what you should do is take the first 4 from the EPT points of 2020, then take the second 4, especially in Europe, take the second 4 of the EPT points. That's seed group 2. Then you take the 4 players that made it to the winner bracket in the closed qualifier, that is seeding group 3, and then you take the 4 players from the closed qualifier who made it through the lower bracket. Would you agree with that?
Yes. EPT in the first 4 quadrants.
Yeah.
Rank 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, and
then
5 to 8
and then 5 day because Europe did take 8 last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's easy.
And Asia as well. So and then winner bracket and then loser bracket.
Yes, and you can literally just do the order in which they qualified: the top and bottom, top and bottom.
Yeah, that would be my approach. I think that's a good approach.
What did they do?
They took the 16/8 players and sorted them all by EPT points of 2020, which leads to an absolutely ridiculous Group B In America, Group A is Hitman, Hunter, Insup, and Kiwi. These are 3 players that made all 3 semifinals in the 2020 season. And in the other group, you got Cruncher, Saron, Ark, and Duck. Only one of these 4 players made it to the semifinal in the 2020 region, and most of them got eliminated early or didn't even qualify. So there's a big disbalance or imbalance in the group, especially here in America. And I think Europe and Asia suffers a little as well, because players that made it through the winner bracket of the closed qualifier are in a very, very tough spot sometimes. Like, for example, Starbuck, who just crushed the qualifier, and now he finds himself in a first round match with Happy, which I think he shouldn't be. But yeah. And of course, this, especially, again, the special case of Ark, he got that seed because of Anaheim. And in the regular season, he didn't made a single playoff. So he still is seeded above Kiwi and Insup. And again, this comes down to Anaheim still having an impact on the 2021 season of Dreamhack, which is still bullshit.
Yeah, so I agree and I disagree. So I think the seedings are fine, but Anaheim is such an impact because Hitman is rank 1, Cruncher is rank 2. So the groups are clearly 1-4 and 2-3 because Cruncher and Ark are 2 and 3, and they're in a group, and 1 and 4 is Hitman and Kiwi, who won the best of 5 decider. So it's 1 and 4 and 2 and 3, which does make sense to me. And then Hunter and Insup are closed qualifier. Saron and Duck are closed qualifier, which you could argue you could you could totally shuffle them around. Although I would probably seed Insup a little higher, only because he had that show match with Kiwi where he could have been top 4. So maybe I would make him number 5. So that makes 1, 4, 5. And then in the other bracket, it's 2, 3, and 6, 7 or whatever. So it is very close, but Ark getting that 3rd spot is, yes, it is due to Anaheim, because in all of the circuits he did not perform as well as Kiwi and Insup. And I mean, honestly, if you take away Anaheim in general, if you just cut it off, I think Ark would have been 4th or 5th in the EPT points. Mm-hmm. And the seedings would have made more sense in terms of performance, because I definitely agree with you. So now we have this giant group of death. Keep in mind, Hunter's, yes, this is a group of death because Hunter is insane, but also Hunter didn't play at all. So you could shuffle him wherever. Him, Duck, Saron, and Insup, you can shuffle wherever. So that's just the way that they shuffled it. And obviously they don't really know COVID. Obviously they don't really know the player base too much, because I probably wouldn't do that group. I would probably switch Hunter and Insup out and make the groups more balanced. But that's not what they wanted to do. They wanted to just go by their seedings. So technically, it's 1 and 4, 2 and 3, with a shuffled 5, 6, 7, 8. The most fair group would be what? Hitman and Cruncher separated, Insup and Kiwi separated. Yeah. So either Hitman and Insup, or Hitman and Kiwi, and Cruncher and Insup, Cruncher, Kiwi.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
However,
then you
Ark's
have
Anaheim weighs too much.
Yeah, for sure. So just a little follow-up on the Dreamhack. Still super excited for this. I think there's 2 groups where I'm not too excited about. That is obviously America Group B, which is definitely weaker than the rest. And I think it's Europe Group C. Still has Hawk, Dice, Thorzan, and Sonic. But on paper, the other groups are a little better, I think. But yeah, there's going to be some amazing 2.5 week of Warcraft action coming to your home screens at ESL_WC3. We do have Zoom conditions now, like the players can zoom out as they want to at W3 Champions, and we're going to have a lot of player caps is what I heard. So looking forward to that a lot.
Player caps? What do you mean?
Player cams. Cameras.
Oh, player cams. Yeah. I think that's going to be dope, actually. I think it's going to be dope. Did you say that the broadcast is on ESL_Warcraft3? I thought it was on Back2Warcraft.
Nope.
Okay.
ESL_Warcraft3.
Was that always the plan?
It was a possible plan.
Okay, well.
There was an A and B option, and we went with A. So as everything is pretty much as 2020, except that we can zoom out a little. The broadcast is going to look a little different, and we're going to have more player pictures, I think. More player cameras, I think.
I think the player cams is so cool because it adds way more feeling.
Yes.
When you can see the reactions, because there are some groups here where if these guys pop off, there could be some huge upsets.
Yeah, I think production-wise, I will change a little bit. Like last time, we had a couple of player cameras when they were voluntary, like Juan and Kraft, etc. But we only used them in-game, which is a little bad because what we want to see is their reaction after the game. So instead of going back to us, we should do like a full camera version of the player that wins. Yeah, I'm smart.
That's why you're in charge. That's why you're in
smart.
That's why you're in charge.
Literally just one button that I can press. So yeah, this is what I'm planning to do. So a little winner impression on it.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's going to be a huge upgrade from last season because it's really hard to build stories without offline. And we're sitting in our house, trying to hype up these games, which are hype, but it's when you don't see the players' reaction.
Yeah.
And then no offense, we do interviews after a 5-minute break and people get up and
off.
You know what I mean? Yeah, things have cooled off. They 100% have, and we're still trying to keep that buzz. But if we can get like some raw camera emotion, somebody crying,
like
weeping.
Cruncher after his victory. That's a perfect example.
Yeah, that pop off was iconic, and I'm so glad it's on YouTube for the rest of the world. These are some heavy groups, though. I do agree that the Cruncher Group B is very weak. Duck, Arc, Sauron, and Cruncher. It's almost like you kind of know who's going through. Being Cruncher and Arc, unless Duck and Sauron can really come too.
Group A is super hyped then, though.
I have no idea, Giannis. I have no idea who's coming out of the group. Kiwi's a huge favorite, by the way. I'm putting this out there right now. Kiwi's a huge favorite to beat Hitman.
What?
This is a different Kiwi. So last year, he literally played willy-nilly. This season, he's actually grinding. This is the first time we've seen a Kiwi cocky hyperbolic time chamber grind. So I'm really scared for the Dust Boys against Kiwi. Not gonna lie, and they don't watch the podcast, so they're not gonna know this. But because they say, why would I watch that? You don't know anything about the game, so they don't watch it. But very scared. What do you think?
It could literally be anyone off of Group A. If Hunter shows up in time and prepares a little, Insup has shown some very good games recently, even though he lost the tiebreaker to Kiwi. 1 hour later, he 2-0'd him in the cup. So everything could happen. I think like Hitman is obviously the big favorite, but we saw some weakness in his play already at the finals, and he has a job. He's not grinding 1,000 games a day anymore. So maybe it's a weaker Hitman and the rest is catching up a little. That was our hope for like fall and winter already, and then coming, of course, to the Cruncher winning the global finals. So yeah, pretty much that. And looking over to my region, Europe, I am really curious how Happy will deal with Starbuck playing random, because he can't really prepare too much. He can't go for any Cryptlord strategies really, and Starbuck is on fire lately. Winning a game against Moon should tell you that you can also win games against Happy. I think this is the hardest first round encounter for Happy ever in Dreamhack.
Yeah, Undead is like the worst race to play against random, because what openers can you really do? You have to scout. You can do
like DK fiend, like Tet fiends.
You kind of have to. Have to. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, maybe you can open ghouls because it's not viable in Undead Mirror. You can't go DK ghoul opener if it's Undead Mirror. So you're just screwed. And Starbuck's gonna know what he's doing, right? Like he's gonna know he's undead. So if it's Undead Mirror, he's gonna go Cryptlord. You can't just open DK ghouls. You have to open Ted Fiends, I think, at every single game with a scout. So that kind of narrows it down. Starbuck knows what he's gonna play against.
Yeah. He has Kraft by his side. Of course, they're in the same group as well. Kraft and Starbuck, the 2-2 team, the allies together. That could be a hype lower bracket final, maybe. Looking forward to that a lot. Also, Exlord and Vortex again in a group. Johnny Cage again in a group with Vortex. Poor Star-Shaped in that group. But yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Hyped for that, for sure. So,
Dice is going through. Dice is going through 100%.
100%.
100% Dice is going through. 100%.
What if he doesn't? Gonna shave your head?
I'm predicting 1-2 versus Hawk or 2-1 versus Hawk, to be very honest with you. And then he'll beat Thorzane or Sonic. But if he goes down right away from Hawk, he will beat Thorzane. He'll beat Thorzane 2-0. And then he will play Sonic, and he will beat Sonic 2-1.
Okay.
And Dice will go through. Dice is my boy.
Sonic had the upper hand recently over Dice and Mirror matches. We'll see. It's not... It's all up for grabs in these groups, which is pretty cool. So I guess so much for the Dreamhack follow-up. Games start next Wednesday, May 5th. In Europe and America.
Very excited. I mean, these are really good games.
These are just excited. Really... Can you sound more excited when you say that?
Holy shit, man. These are like so insane. Yeah, dude. I think they're fucking insane games. Fuck you, Giannis. I think they're good games, all right? And why aren't we talking about Asia?
Because that's in like a week from now. That's the topic for next week, maybe.
Oh, they're not starting on the weekend?
No. It's always a week later.
Oh, why?
NEXT, I think.
Oh, that's cool that they accommodate for other tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Phone check. 1 second. You know what I'm checking? I'm checking for an update on the thing we were doing. Yes.
Oh my God, hold on you're just digging for
no update. It's all good. Yeah, I was doing a little undercover work, and we might follow up on that at another podcast, maybe possibly next week after I get all the dirt uncovered. But I'm a nosy.
Wow.
I'm a nosy boy.
Cliffhanger. All right.
Yeah, leaving everybody hanging. I think there's a lot of tournaments coming up.
That
a lot
is
of tournaments coming
true.
up, to be honest.
And that is a wonderful segue to one of the questions we got in our Q&A section on Patreon. Thank you, Save Orcas, for the support. And of course, for the question, Save Orcas asks, do you agree that these days there is oversaturation of Warcraft 3 tournaments and very small player base? This way, top players can get burned out by feeling pressured to be part of them all and bored by waiting to find a game with the same few players of their level. How can we increase the War 3 player base, and what can the community do for that?
It's a lot of questions there. Do you want to answer them one by one?
So, first question basically is, do you agree that there's an oversaturation of Warcraft 3 tournaments at the moment?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that you can actually play a tournament on a day and miss out on playing something else. Or play something and you're going to fuck yourself over because another tournament is like a couple hours the next morning. Do you know what I mean? So like you're not going to be able to play them. Also, as a TO, I find myself having to really check calendars before I start an event because there's a lot of conflict. I do think that there's an oversaturation of Warcraft 3 tournaments, but I do think it is a good problem to have right now. I think it's a good thing.
I think there is something for everyone at the moment. Whoopsie. Just ripped my earphones out. I think there's something for everyone at the moment, and people can pick what they want to do. So for the top scene, obviously, there is Dreamhack. For the top scene, there's also probably the ESL Cups, because there's no ELO cap on anything, unlike in the Skill Cups. Then, of course, for the Grassroots scene, there is the Skill Cups with their bronze and silver version. There's also Sparta's Peon Cup with a big MMR cap. There's Gym Newbie League. What else is there for amateur play or for Grassroots tournaments? I think those are the biggest ones, I guess. So there's plenty to pick from, but it's also a little different because people who play in the Bronze Cup are probably not going to go far in the Silver Cup. They will probably try, but not make it to a finals or something. Gym Newbie League, of course, maybe the entry to competitive Warcraft. So it's staggering when it comes to levels. I don't think there's too much at the same time for pro players. I mean, there's always time in between, I guess. So we started this year with War3 Champions. Then there was Dust League in America and Europe. Was there too much else leading up to Dreamhack? I don't think so, really. What were the big events on weekends?
Zero Effort League had a season.
Zero Effort League had a season, but that's like a different region. I think like for the European pro players.
Oh, for the Europeans? Really? Was there really nothing?
Not too much, I think. Let me check. 1-on-1 tier 2 tournaments. Oh, not 2-on-2, not 2-on-2. Warcraft Champions did a break for like 3 months, almost 4. Of course, there's Meisterschaft all the time. But apart from that, in Europe, there wasn't anything big since the War3 Champions finals, except the cups. In Asia, there's always a cup going on, like a bigger one, like TED Cup and Huya and AWL. But this kind of feels like it's always more of the same, which is a little bit of a problem. Because it's always the same format. It's oftentimes the same players, which is, of course, the follow-up question here. I think a very good example was the tournament by TH, Infi, and Fly, who did this, what was it called? TP tournament, the 3-on-3 version. Another good thing is, of course, the tag team, which has 2-on-2 and 1-on-1. There's also 2-on-2 tournaments. I think it's a very good variety at the moment. On all skill levels. It's pretty much perfect, actually.
Yeah, I think adding in different formats is great. I don't know if I want to say that we get bored of seeing the same old things, but it's also like really hard to get new players in, which is a follow-up question. Yeah, I agree with what you said before, like right at the beginning, though. You said like there's something for everyone, where like no matter what your schedule is, if you're a night owl or a day person, you could play whatever skill level you are. If you could be a complete dog shit like me, and there's something to play like the Gym Newbie League, or you could be like a vet and play a skill cup and play an open cup or play something competitive as well. There's a lot of grassroots or like competitive stuff. So I like that, because I feel like, geez, what would it be like if there wasn't amateur stuff? Then it'd be really boring. Like if it was just always a Zotac Cup and it was just always the same people.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of an issue with Community Cup participation, because I feel like a lot of players don't value what we got in especially ESL Cups or in Money Cups in general, because so many players absent from it when they don't see they have a chance. Like they don't value the experience of the tournament, like in week 1, you make it into round 2, and in week 3, you might advance from this and go into round 3 or 4. Not too many people do that. They stay in their MMR bubble. There's, of course, a couple of great exceptions from that. For example, Hippo, who plays everything, or Pinker, or like people like that. But more players should sign up for the cups, for the big cups, for the skill and the ESL cups, to just rise numbers. Same goes for Dreamhack qualifiers. Like numbers are for all the big stuff are kind of pathetic, and this will probably hurt us big time later this year, next year.
Except for NA. NA has the highest signups.
Yo, shout out Brazil. I don't know what Brazil, Forks does to rally the troops every single time there is something, but man, Brazil represent.
I think we had like 44 check-ins in the last ESL Cup. It was amazing. Super cool. Super cool.
Yeah, so people should be less afraid of losing in tournaments. And of course, sometimes you have to wait a little until you get your game, but just go for a ladder game or something in between, or get some food. I mean, you have the Discord on your phone, right? Everybody should have the Discord on your phone. So when your match is ready, you probably get a notification, and then you either leave the ladder game, which costs you a couple of points, which is not the worst thing in the world. I don't know. Or you have to stop your meal halfway in, which is also not the worst thing in the world. I don't know. If you don't have to sit in front of your computer and stare at the screen. Like, you can do other stuff in between while you wait for your opponent. Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. I think just people don't think of it that way. People just think like, I have to sit here. Well, I can't sit here all day. I'm going to forfeit. I can't just sit on my computer for 5 hours. I'm not 13 anymore, which is a problem. We have an older demographic of player base. Whereas like 15 years ago, I would say the average age was, 15. Now the average age is 30. We grew with the game. The game didn't grow with us. So I think if we had like 100 15-year-old kids on Adderall, this wouldn't even be an issue. But we don't.
But where there are a lot of players in Gym Newbie League, Washed Up League, especially Washed Up League, man. Does it have to do with like being able to schedule freely, or is it just it's basically the same player level? There's also a lot of players in the Rocket Beans League. Like, all this grassroots people want to play competitively, but they don't want to play a pro or a semi-pro or whatever. And back in the day, in the Zotac Cup days, that was the best thing that could happen to you.
Yeah, it's weird how the competitive mentality has changed. We talked about this in a former podcast where I was absolutely, I get pissed at the I don't even know what happened, but we stopped being competitive and we started looking at it as, well, I don't want to play, I'm going to get smoked. And I think that's the problem with, people not signing up for the ESL Open Cups, because they just know Happy's going to win and they don't find that fun and they don't find that enjoyable. Whereas back in the day, I think everyone was like, fuck Happy, I'm taking the gold. I'm going to beat him in a best of one. And upset, I'm going to shock the world. I feel like that was the mentality big time with the Zotac Cups, because we had 180 signups. We had tons of signups.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? The more players sign up, the more fun it is for everyone. Like, of course, if you have a round of 8, because only 16 players sign up, then you face a Foggy or a Sonic in the first round. That's no fun. That's no fun for them. That's no fun for you. But if we have 100 players, then of course you have a round of 128 in the beginning, and until you meet a very, very good player that is above your MMR, that is clearly above your MMR, it takes 3 to 4 rounds until you get there. So the more players sign up, the more fun for everybody. And the better for the league, and the better for the casters, and the better for just everything, everyone.
Forehead, just sign up. I don't know why people don't want to sign up. I think it's a different change of mentality. I think people see it as it's a waste of time because I'm not going to do anything. Like, it's not going to go anywhere. And I don't know why that's the mentality, but I really believe it is. And it sucks. I don't like it. And I'll always just shit on people that think that way, because I want a competitive scene.
You sound very tired, Ricky. Is the work getting to you?
No, I just, like, you're talking about this, it's actually bumming me out, because I feel like it's a mass population of the community that thinks this way. And for some reason, I think we've built up this community on people complaining and whining and bitching and moaning, and it's become the way we think about this game. Where, when I first started out, I remember NA players, back in custom games on East, they were talking about the Grubby finals, and they were talking about Grubby versus Moon, and how, a couple more custom games and they can get on that level, and how OC beat Grubby 2-1 and that league. And it was like the coolest thing ever. And everyone wanted to be at that level, and everyone strived to like do their own thing and practice on their own and get better. And then we had like national cups. We had WCG, where you could actually go in your region in the States and show your skill, like a Duck, someone who was unknown at the time, or a Box, or a Holy Human, all those players. And you could kind of showcase, and it was competitive. and nobody really said, well, he's going to win anyway. And Longwalk won a lot of them, and Sonky won a lot of them, and nobody ever went into it thinking, well, Sonky and Longwalk are probably going to win. They were all like, I want to win.
Yeah, nowadays the Duck is creating multiple accounts on like 1000 MMR and shits on noobs. Nice.
It's fun.
Great development, man.
It's fun.
Yeah, you did the same, right?
I want to play random in Grass League. It's fun.
Despicable.
I'm not a competitive player though, and I do.
That ruins ladder for so many people if players tank their MMR and just slap noobs, because of course your micro is way ahead. Doesn't matter if you play random and you don't know the builds ins and outs, your micro is still better, and that's absolutely no fun. I played against Duck. I got demolished by Duck. It was no fun. And if you want to grow the community and help the community, then this behavior is just pure shit. There's a reason there's MMR.
That was Neo spanking me, guys. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. You know, I just, have you seen my random? Pretty bad.
No, but I saw your micro when you beat me in a mirror match, and I lost my hair. And
that's undead mirror. I mean, if I got random undead, I'm probably going to destroy that person. But if I get anything else, it's going to be a close game. Yeah, I don't know. What we're talking about though is the general mentality of competitive play.
Yeah, I think we basically covered this. Yeah. I have another issue, and I said this on broadcast a couple of times, but I know this map pool is pretty fresh, but I start to dislike it because not only do we have the same format in the tournaments and the same player in the tournaments, it feels like there's always the same builds and the same objectives on every map, which wasn't the case when Terraner Stand and Twisted were still involved, because they were so different. Of course, balance-wise, not the greatest, but they led to different games, and it felt fresh when you see a Mountain King first, or Infi going Mountain King first into Mass Dragonhawks or Mass Griffins. That is something you rarely see these days. It's always the same build on every map with a little bit of variation, depending on how fast you can get your level 3. Level 3 is always the number one objective, it feels, or a fast expansion. And this map pool is incredibly stale for variety in-game. It might be more balanced, but it's not more colorful, which is an issue. And this is something we should address in the upcoming map pool rotations. We need different maps.
How about a free expansion? One with just an empty mine. That'll change the narrative. People might just open up straight Expo, hero, just Expo first.
That's what the humans always wanted, right? With their balance ideas.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you can't have your cake and eat it too. I mean, 10 years ago, we were sick of Destro mirror and just mass Destro or Blade Master buying boots at the shop and just right-clicking the grunt, the first one to kill a grunt wins, and there were so many, and just dots against orc, and I feel like that was stale for years. We actually have changed meta on a
but for example, yes, you might have been tired of Talons, but then on Twisted Meadows you can't play Talons, right? So there's the map dictating that you can't play a certain strategy, or that another strategy is better on this map because it's so open and you can creep a lot more.
I mean, did you like Tyrannis Stand, Warden first, MK first? I mean, it was stale. I mean, you're going to see that. It's Tyrannis Stand, so we just saw Keeper and Demon, but it's Tyrannis Stand, so we're going to see Warden versus Mountain King. I mean, that's kind of stale. There was no variation on TS.
But that is the one map out of 7 where I don't get an Archmage versus Keeper. So
yeah, but you're just saying that you like it because it's different than the other maps, but it's the same that it's always been.
But it's one map that is the same out of 7, and now 7 out of 7 is always the same. Let me put it differently. Prior to that, we had 5 maps where it was always the same strategy, and now it's 7 maps where it's always the same strategy. So your brain can't really reset from that monotony of Keeper versus Archmage 7 times in a row because you don't have the refresher map in Terran Stand or Twisted.
Yeah, there's 2 matchups where you definitely get the same shit every day, and it's Human versus Night Elf with Keeper versus Archmage, and it's Orc versus Night Elf with Keeper versus Blade. Unless you play Farseer Headhunters, which is, Resident Sleeper. But I think the other matchups are fine. You can open DK or Cripplord against Human. You can open Undead Mirrors completely maps. Wide open. Undead versus Orc is Farseer first or Blade first, and against Orc it's DK or Cripplord. Undead versus Elf is Demon Hunter or Keeper.
Shit! This matchup is the absolute worst. And I said this when the Gargs got buffed, and now it's happening. This Garg play versus Night Elf has to go. It's the lamest matchup we got. It's the lamest strategy in all of Warcraft. And it has the lamest fights because it's just 2 big air armies colliding. The fight lasts 2 seconds and then it's over. I hate this matchup so much. Gargs need to be banned. Like, some people have hatred for tanks and tank play. I do enjoy that here and there. Of course, shout out to Knubbequakes. I'm with you, my man. But gargoyles are always shit. Always.
I've said that since Dreamhack last year. Remember when I said I hate Gargs? I said it on the Dreamhack broadcast in NA. I said I hate when people go Gargs. It's so stale. It's not watchable. It's boring. And it's just not good. It's just a bad strat. I mean, you go Garg against Elf, like every unit shoots up. Like, what are they going to do? Mass hunts? Like, it's just bad. It's just not good. It's gimmicky. It's stupid. It's just not watchable too. Like, it's just so bad.
It's also not castable because there's just a big clump of stuff. Thank God we don't have Reforged graphics anymore. Because imagine,
first one to lose wins. Or first one to win the fight wins. I said something so stupid and people hosed me. I said, well, the first one to win this fight wins the game. Because after the first fight, you know who wins the game. That air fight. Much. So it's just like buy scrolls and just, spray and pray, as you say in Counter-Strike. But how can we increase War 3 player base? And what can the community do for that, Giannis? That's $1 million question. I mean, if I fucking knew, I would write a book and I would sell it to everyone in RTS and I would make millions.
I think the content creators are already doing great stuff with GNL, Bronze League, and Peon Cups. There's not much more content creators can do. Maybe, of course, what helps is tutorials. Like, because how many tutorials do we have in Warcraft? Like 5. Especially in a condensed and streamlined version, written or video. That's not happening. I mean, Theorycraft is kind of that, but it's also like a 2-hour format and not a, hey, how is this build again? Let me look that up on YouTube real quick. Oh, there's a 2-hour video about this build? Nah, I'm not gonna watch this. I just want to know, the basics. I just want to know what to press at what time. Give me a 2-minute version of it. That certainly helps, because, if you start Warcraft for the first time, you have no idea where to position your buildings or what buildings to even play. So small tutorials would be amazing. That's the only thing I think content creators can do. Apart from that, it's up to the players to just play what is provided. And they do on ladder, because the numbers are still rising every month, I think, for War 3 champions.
Yeah, the big problem is we've secluded ourselves from the actual Warcraft 3 community, because War 3 Champions is great, but if you don't know about it, then you don't know about it. And we've talked about this before. There are probably 1,000 players on BNet right now that have no idea there's a whole community waiting for them. There's just no awareness, right? And it bums me out, because I've said there's a 13-year-old kid that's probably unbelievable, but we'll never be able to harbor him because we can't find him. That's the biggest issue I have, as a manager of a team that wants to expand the scene or whatever. But I think I think the problem that we have too is everything's dumbed down now. Like, people want to play a shooter where you can, like COD, where you can just spray and pray and there's no thinking, or a team game where you don't have to rely on your own ability. You can get carried by others in 5v5 or whatever format. And I think the RTS genre is really hard to sell. I think it was hard to sell before, but it was so new.
But
and
people are playing GNL and Washed Up and Rocket Beans League.
Yeah, right? Because they're aware of it, right? I mean, how many people are in GNL? 6 teams of...
You want to tell me that a person who is aware of GNL doesn't know about ESL Cups?
Person who's aware of GNL is aware... Yeah, but that's a different issue, because why do they... I think it's... And that comes down to why is Washed Up have the most player signups? I think it's because Washed Up has actually... They have like groups A to J in terms of MMR, and they've really capped out like, this is your spot, you're in group G, and for the most part you do fit in that MMR bracket. There's like 6 players or 7 players that you probably played on ladder, or it's that specific. Like, it's so specific that like in my group I played people on ladder. Like, that's how close the skills are. And I think people are more familiar with yep, I can beat that guy because I have, or I've played him and it was close, and it feels more like that's my group, as opposed to just being in an open format and playing Hitman round 1. Obviously, it's more appealing to play games that are closer and something you think is going to win, rather than sign up and, well, I got Arc round 1, I'm out, I'm not going to beat him. I think like these grassroots tournaments have really found a way to get people involved, because they've really segregated your level to a way that you accept it. Like, I accept I'm in group G. I know I'm not going to be in group A with Hitman, but in group G, Giannis is there, and yeah, I could beat his ass. It's close, But I think like I think that's what they did, and that's good. But you need more players to get involved.
It's the same at Rocket Beans. But then I wonder, why is the Bronze Cup, for example, not having the same number of signups?
Probably just time. I would love to play the Bronze, but it never fits my time schedule.
That's another
I would love
thing,
to play
right?
the Bronze.
You can freely schedule in leagues, but you can't in a cup.
Yep. I've always wanted to play the Bronze, and I'm always working that day. I swear to God. I've wanted to play it like 3 times, or two. I think it's happened twice. I wanted to play it on the 24th, and I was working. Was that the last time it was on? Yep. It was a weekend I was working, and I was so pissed. But that's what it is for me. Maybe it's other people too. Also, it could be people don't even know when the fuck it is or what it is, because I also had to check.
I was kind of wrong on the number of signups, man. They have
there was a lot. There's 60, right? 50 or 60?
Lot of players there. 46.
Yeah, that's good.
Just last week, or this week, last week, this week.
See, but the problem is there's no interconnection. Like, we only get our community, and that's it. The only way to expand our community is to match a guy on BNet and tell him about our community. That's our only way of outreach, because Blizzard
Blizzard in your free time.
Yeah, Blizzard doesn't work with us, right? So we have no way to like channel. If they would integrate War 3 Champ, which they won't, if they would integrate War 3 Champs as like a function of the thing, we could integrate the communities. But like I said, we're stuck to our own homegrown community where it's literally word of mouth, until we can find a way to bridge the actual BNet ladder of thousands of players that we're unaware of. I mean, I could still queue 4v4, 3v3, FFA, 2v2, and 1v1, and I can instantly find on BNet. If I queued right now at 8:30 in the morning my time, I'll instantly find. There's tons of players on. It's huge. People still play. I mean, we hate the game, but a lot of people don't know about the drama.
We hate the game, dude. We love the game.
Well, we hate Reforged graphics.
Kind of, with the quenching 1.4.
No, we don't. Well, of course we don't hate the game, but we hate Reforged graphics, which is the selling point of all these new people buying the game. So we hate that part, but they love that part. They think it's so cool. Like, you ever seen someone new streaming the game and they have Reforged graphics and they're like, "Oh, this is so cool," and we're just like, "Dude, are you kidding me?" Because we know what it's like, right? But they love it. People love it.
All right. That's another hour of the Back2Warcraft podcast.
Is that really an hour?
It was an hour. I wanted to talk about like tournament formats or show match formats that might spice things up a little if there's no Dreamhack or Dust League or whatever. But we can save that for next week.
Okay, we'll save that for next week. But we do have the War3 Champions tournament happening literally this week. So, today's Thursday, but it starts Friday, Saturday, Sunday. War3 Champions, big prize pool, lots of players. Finally, this is the first tournament where we have every region.
Yes, sir. I mean, we had the Xelos Red with Korea, Europe, and America, but that was very early on in flow development, and things weren't as good as they are now. So, just to give you a little overview of what's happening, this is just the one-on-one bracket right here. Happy versus 15 Sway, Thunder versus Michael in the Battle of the Brothers, Dice versus Craft, Death Note, and Lawlight. That's just day one of the one-on-one. There's 2-on-2 as well. I'm gonna go into that in a little. Infi versus Fly is the freaking first round match in the War3 Champions Global Finals. Spiral versus So, and X-Lord versus Insup is something I am looking forward to a lot. Foggy versus Neutron, and of course quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. The schedule is out by now. I posted it on Reddit. The 2-on-2 has Sugar and SDMK versus Shocky and Tox as a first round match. Sonic and Muscle Mike. I would love to just listen to their communication in this game against Lawlight and So, and Craft and Starbuck versus Todd and Mikael in a very, very cool match. That's the opener for the tournament here, by the way. And Chic and Bizarre already defeated Boca and Ice that due to scheduling conflicts had to be played earlier. FFA is up as well. This will be the opener of Championship Sunday at probably noon European time. And I'm gonna be joined by High Tech and Sexy. This is everything you need to know on Reddit. It's a sticky thread. You can find it over there. All information, of course, also on Liquipedia. $2,500 for the winner, $500 for the 2-on-2, $100 for the FFA. You can boost it up to match Reno, and donations up to $5,000 will be matched, ladies and gentlemen. So chip it. And that's the entire schedule here. Opening up with 2-on-2, then a little bit of 1-on-1, then another 2-on-2, then more 1-on-1, and this goes on. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, lots of streaming. You will be with us. Carson will be with. We're going to celebrate your birthday, actually, on Championship Sunday.
Yes, that is my birthday. I will be 28 years young. I'm excited.
Well, maybe you still join the club of 27, but hey, knocking on wood that we have you on for Sunday.
Was that a death joke?
It wasn't a joke. I really hope that you will be alive on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to be there on Sunday, honest.
You never know.
Oh my, do you live like that?
Maybe
Who lives like that?
Maybe there's a truck coming and then... No?
Maybe there's a truck coming.
Yeah, or, I mean, you work at a steel plant. I don't know what can possibly happen there.
I'm a great operator. I'm a god.
Yeah, maybe there's a heavy wind coming and you fall out of the crane. You never know.
They call me Big Red up there. I'm certified.
I can't imagine why. Because you're big and red.
I made that one up. But yeah, I'll be there, man. I'll be there, of course. I'm not gonna get hit by a bus. Dude.
Damn,
if I get hit by a bus,
this podcast on a very positive note, right? We hate this game. I hope you're still alive. Is there anything positive you want to say, Ricky? Anything that made you happy recently, maybe, that you can share with the millions and millions of Back to Warcraft podcast listeners?
Actually, I might be going on a date this weekend.
What?
It's been a long time.
When? We're casting all day.
Yeah, so hoping birthday night.
Ooh, getting a little birthday present, hey?
I'm crossing my fingers right now for the people that can't see me on Spotify.
Is it your mom? Is it your sister?
No, she's coming over, but she's bringing me food. I told her to cook me Thanksgiving dinner as my birthday gift. So that's turkey, pierogies, stuffing, really nice meal. Spaghetti, squash, not spaghetti squash, but squash, cranberry sauce. Oh yeah. That's my birthday present. But no, man, I might be going on a date.
Okay, damn, that's a cliffhanger for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky, thumbs pressed, knocking on wood, etc., etc. That's it from my side. Of course, we thank all of our Patreons that get this a week early and support us. We almost got it to 50 Patreons here, which is insane. Not even a month on, or barely a month, I'm not too sure, one or the other. And there's, of course, the Golden Globe, the Golden Goat Knubberquakes, who is just the craziest supporter of all the times in the world ever. Thank you, Toxie, also for running the W3 Champions Tournament as flawless as you do. Taggy, Nem, Save, Orcas, and Scription, all that beautiful Midas tier here. Dondolara, Jay Gantz, and N. Padrud at the Prophet tier. We thank you very, very much. And if you want to be part of that elusive list of people, head over to patreon.com/Back2Warcraft and sign up for that beautiful Patreon.
Hey, Toxie, if you're listening to the podcast, you won a dust hat in the raffle, and I need to get a hold of you. As well as Steven, _Little, you've won a Back to Warcraft mug, and I need to get a hold of you. You have his address? Okay, we'll send that motherfucker. I need a hat choice.
Okay, I can't.
I DM'd him and he fucking left me on red. I feel like every other Tinder date except for this one coming up this weekend. Yes, baby, let's go. I'll find a way to fuck it up. See you guys next week.